Ayan, there you go. We are already recording. So, yes, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, dearest teachers. Hello po, and my name is Coach June. Ako po ang coach for social sciences ng ating Gurong Pinoy, your number one let online review authority. Ano? So, yes, this is the beginning of our concept-based lectures, which I promised no, nang naibigay ko po ang orientation sa ating majorship. So yes, before we proceed, kindly take the geography pretest to gauge your prior knowledge on the subject. Sige po. I'll give you around 3 minutes no to take this so you can pause this video po muna. Okay? There you go. So I think no natapos na po kayo. And once again, welcome to your first concept-based lecture on social sciences. Particularly our first subject is geography. Okay po? So yes, teachers, no? Just for the information of everyone, for our newbies, for our previous reviewees, and then of course, if this would be permitted by Ma'am Mek, no, yung mga public viewers natin nung first half, no? This is to inform you, no, na ang formula po ng Gurong Pinoy sa ating pag-ace ng board exam ay drill-based discussions, which is very effective. Yun po yung ginagawa namin for Prof Ed, Majorship, and Gen Ed. Okay po. So yes, we believe no by training you on how to be able to rationalize and strategize dito sa mga tanong, of course nahasa na po namin kayo in terms of how you will be acing no itong ating board examination. But I realized, no, of course, sigurista ang ating coach sa social sciences. I realized na ang board exam or ang majorship ng SOCSI, hindi lang siya palaliman ng nalalaman, hindi lang siya singkatalino ng critical analysis or understanding of your content, kundi paramihan din po siya ng alam. So, aside from the drill-based discussions, I came up with this concept-based discussions or concept-based lecture na magsisilbing refresher po sa inyo kung paano po ninyo mauunawaan yung mga subjects na scope ng ating board exam, no? Lalo na para sa ating mga unit takers, lalo na para dun sa mga refreshers ng old curriculum, no? At least sa ganitong mga videos, mapapasadahan po ng mabilis, no? Yung lahat ng napag-aralan natin nung college. So this is the core of the table of specifications. Kung ano po yung mga subjects na meron tayo sa TOS, ito din po yung mga gagamitin nating basis ng subjects dito sa mga concept-based lectures natin. So if ever that you are one of those reviewees na natatakot dahil hindi sila nakapag-take, hindi sila SOCSI majors, no? O di kaya naman nakalimutan na nila yung inaral nila ng college, this is the right video for you. Kasi babalikan po natin lahat, no, ng mga napag-aralan nyo through this video, no? I hope this is you are happy, no, upon seeing this, because what's just required of me of Gurong Pinoy is the drill-based discussions. Pero with my genuine desire to help you, dearest teachers, no, I came up with such concept-based lectures na sana God would help me, give me the energy and wisdom para mapagpatuloy natin siya, makumpleto natin lahat ng subjects. So yes, we'll begin with geography. Kumbaga, ito na yung pabonus ko po sa inyong lahat. Aside from the drills that we are taking, aside from the drill-based discussions that we have every Sunday, ito na po yung mga pasobra para sigurado po tayo na kayo na ang susunod na LPT of 2024. Okay? Sige. So yes, we begin with our concept-based lecture. We begin with geography. What is geography? Kapag sinabi po natin geography, it's the study of the earth. Basically, no? From the word geo, which means earth, graphy, which is from the word graphine na pagsulat o pag-aaral, ayan na. So we have geography as the study of the earth. In college, no, sa ating new curriculum, 4 po na subjects ang tumutumbok sa geography. We have Geography 1, Geography 2, Geography 3, and we have place lands. No? Ano po yung mga to? Yung Geography 1, this is human geography. Kung maaalala nyo po, nung tinuro ng mga professor nyo sa inyo, this is about geopolitics. How culture, no, and environment are intertwined. Yun po yung pinag-aaralan natin doon. Kaya nga siya human geography. Pinag-aaralan kung paano hinuhubog ng kultura ang kapaligiran at kung paano hinuhubog ng kapaligiran ang kultura. That's it. Next, we also learned about geography too. We have physical geography. Ito na po yung the places, really the physical features of the earth, no? And these features, this is to mention na for this discussion, ang focus po natin ay geography too. Bakit po? Bakit geography too? Kasi yun po yung pinoint out ng board exam sa kanyang TOS. And since yung mga nag-take po ng mga previous board exams, yun din po yung mga sinasabi nilang lumalabas pa rin. Even nung kami po yung nag-take nito, okay? Puro po siya physical geography. Okay? So yun po yung uubusin natin mamaya. But again, to walk you through, meron din po tayong geography 3. Ito po yung urban geography na tinatawag natin, no? Kumbaga dito ang pinag-aaralan yung mga contemporary cities, no? Sustainable cities. Kaya nga po laging napapasyadahan dito yung SDGs, the global cities, things like those, no? Ang punto, ito na rin po yung aaralan natin sa contemporary world. So if we are studying contemporary world, you are also studying urban geography. Tatandaan nyo po yan. So aabangan nyo po lahat ng lectures ko, not just in majorship but also in general education. Kasi po nagpapalit-palit yung tanong. No? Yun po yun. And then also, included in the new curriculum, yun pong subject natin na places and landscapes, no? Na kung saan dito na po binase ng board exam yung title ng subject. Sabi niya, it's the geographical places and landscapes in the modern world. So ang gagawin natin ngayon, no, i-discuss ko po sa inyo yung mga core concepts na nalaman na po ng ating discussion. Sabi ko nga po sa inyo, supposed to be ito'y dapat inaral nyo ng college. If ever na hindi nyo siya naaral, if ever na nangalawang na kayo, if ever na unit taker po kayo, this is the perfect video for you. Okay? So let's begin. Let's begin with the important people. Okay? Tatlo po ang ituturo ko na important people in terms of geography. We have Eratosthenes, the father of geography. Tatandaan po natin that Eratosthenes is the father of geography. Bakit po siya tinawag na father of geography? Basically, siya po yung unang gumamit ng word na geography. Tapos nagkaroon po siya ng small scale model or notion of the earth. Kaya ang punto, ang naging target niya ay i-determine yung circumference, sinukat niya yung circumference of the earth. So yan po ang dahilan kung bakit si Eratosthenes ang tinatawag natin na father of geography. Then we also proceed with the father of modern geography. Yes po, tricky po ang board exam. Minsan itatanong niya yung father of geography pero the other season itatanong niya ang modern geography. So you needed to be prepared. Ang sagot po natin dyan, this is none other than Alexander von Humboldt. Bakit naman po siya tinawag na father of modern geography? Ano po yung contribution niya? He was known for his quantitative work po, no? Na nagbigay or nagpave way in what we call as biogeography. Yun po yung nabuo doon. Kasi po yung work niya, it focuses on botanical geography, no? Yun po yung naglay ng foundation, again, dun sa tinatawag natin na biogeography. Okay? Then next, we also have Homer. Ito naman po, lipat-lipat po ang tanong na ito. Kung minsan nasa Soksay, minsan nasa Gen Ed. Ang tinatanong po ng board exam dito, who is the first mythical geographer who was recognized due to his vivid descriptions of lands and people encountered by his hero Ulysses? Ang sagot po natin ay Homer, okay? So yes, of all the people na makikilala natin sa geography, itong tatlo po ang pinakakilala. Kaya po ang pinupoint ko sa inyo dito sa Gurong Pinoy, sa atin po less is more. Hindi natin kailangang itackle ang lahat. Ang punto lang, kailangan itackle natin ano yung pinaka-importante at ano yung lumalabas. At sila po yun, okay? So you need to be prepared. Next, we now proceed with discussing the 5 themes of geography. Some others are calling this as the 5 elements of geography. Na ito po yung punto, no? Ito po yung punto at the very core of studying geography. So we have 5. Number 1, we have location. Kapag sinabi po nating location, it's either exact or relative location. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun, Sir John? Kapag sinabi po nating exact, pumapatungkol po tayo doon sa absolute na location na meron tayo. If you will recall, nung kayo po ay nasa high school, ito po yung dinedetermine natin using latitude, no, longitude. Kaya po halimbawa, tingnan nyo po dito sa visual natin, where is Manila? Kapag tinanong ko po yung absolute location ng Manila, ang sagot po, it is located at 15 degrees north and 121 degrees east. Yun Yun po yung absolute location. O ito po, Coach Rune, kinakabahan po kayo. Ako, tinatanong po ba yung absolute location ng mga lugar sa board exam? Hindi po. Just the concept, no? Yung konsepto lang po ng absolute location ang dapat yung ma-familiarize. Okay? So to remove your worries, hindi po nagtatanong ang board exam ng absolute location. So aside from exact or absolute, we also have relative location. From the word relative, teachers, no? Kahit na hindi lang po sa geography, from the word relative, paano po natin siya masasabing relative? Ang punto, halimbawa, in relation to other countries, nasaan ang Pilipinas? Halimbawa niyan. And in the visual, sabi niya dito, it's in the south of Japan and near Vietnam. That's already a relative location. So, ibig sabihin, kapag tinitignan mo yung neighboring countries, you're already pertaining to relative location. So, yes, that's the first theme of geography. Okay? Next naman po tayo, place. Kapag sinabi po nating place, halimbawa, how do we describe a place? We describe a place using physical or human features. Take note of this definition, teachers. Ito po yung keyword niya, physical or human features. Tatandaan nyo po yan. Dalawa po yung component ng place. Halimbawa, pupunta ka sa taga-ibang bansa ka, foreigner ka, pupunta ka sa Pilipinas, no? Ngayon, you will try to describe the physical or the human features of the Philippines. Paano mo gagawin yon? Yung physical po, ito po yung mga natural, no? Ito po yung mga natural. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga landforms. Halimbawa, sasabihin mo, oh, the physical feature of the Philippines based on place, no? It's an archipelago. That's the thing, no? Kasi ito ay physical. And then, because of having an archipelago, we have a lot of mountains, we have a lot of forests, tropical rainforest being nandyan tayo sa malapit sa equator. That's the thing. You are describing the physical feature of the Philippines. Ano naman po yung human feature of the Philippines? Basically, kapag po ganito, dinidescribe nyo yon, you're describing the human-made aspect of geography. Halimbawa, marami bang buildings? Marami bang roads? Marami bang mga train stations? Those are the things, no? And aside from that, tinitignan din dito, marami bang tao, no? Yung population density ng isang lugar, kasama na po yun doon sa human features of a place, okay? So again, kapag po place ang pinag-uusapan, we have physical or the human features, okay? Next naman po, we have the human environmental, no? The relation of the human and the environment and how they affect each other. That's the third theme of geography. And yes, teachers, dito po, may tinatanong ang board exam na specific na concept na pumapatungkol dito. Take note of this one, really tinatanong po ito. And the perfect choice, or rather, the perfect concept would be called the environmental determinism. Anong ibig sabihin ng environmental determinism? Nako, teachers, lumilitaw po talaga yan. So, dapat memoryado na ninyo. Ang ibig sabihin lang po nito, the environment determines culture. Yun lang po yun. Okay? Halimbawa, how can we see that? In Baguio, halimbawa, ano ba yung environment sa Baguio? O they are highland, no? Nasa mataas na lugar sila. Ibig sabihin malamig. Which is why we would see na yung kultura nila, no? Yung kultura nila, halimbawa, ano yung aspect ng kultura? Fashion. Nakita mo, naka-jacket sila. Bakit naka-jacket yung mga nasa Baguio? Kasi yung environment nila, it determines their culture. Yun po yun. It's environmental determinism. Okay? Tatandaan nyo po yan, teachers. Alright? And next, aside from that, we have the fourth theme, which is movement. This is how people change location. Dito na po pumapasok yung migration, the push migration, pull factors, push factors, no? Yan ang punto. And yes, ito po yung punto ng human geography. Okay? Yan po yung punto ng human geography natin, how they migrate. Kaya nga, isa na rin sa mga usapin ngayon sa SOCSA, yung mga refugees. Okay? So, yun po yun. Siyang tinatakal natin sa contemporary world. So, don't worry. Next, we also have region. Ang punto, no, natural sa mga bansa, they form alliances, they form organizations based on areas. Halimbawa, ano yung mga regional organizations natin? We have ASEAN, no? That's the thing. We have the European Union, no? At yes, bumubuo po tayo ng mga regions. Aside from that, meron po tayong mga region. Halimbawa, sa Asia, we have 6 sub-regions, di ba? We have Southeast Asia, yung mga tipong ganyan, East Asia, yan po yung mga regions natin. So yes, those are the 5 themes of geography at kailangan alam nyo po yan prior to the board exam, okay? Next, let's talk about the famous views on geography. Hindi nawawala sa board exam ito, so you better take note, no? Alam na alam nyo na po ito. Actually, natakal na natin ito nung diagnostic phase. Ito po yung the geocentric and the heliocentric view on on the earth. Ano po or rather the arrangement of the sun and the earth. Yan, and the other planets. Sige, kapag sinabi po nating ang sun, ang heliocentric model, actually po, ganito, the thing is, ang nauna po dyan ay yung geocentric model. For a long time, the world believes in the geocentric model. At ito po ay mas kilala dito si Ptolemy, no? Mas kilala dito si Ptolemy. Eventually, papalitan po ito ng heliocentric model ni Copernicus. Ang geocentric model from the word geo and center, no? Geocenter. Ibig sabihin, ano po yung geo? It's Earth. Sabi po niya dito, the Earth is at the center of the universe. Okay? So, geo is at the center of the universe. Yun po yung geocentric. Then again, ito po ay kay Ptolemy. Ngayon, ang heliocentric, it is the sun which is at the center of the universe. So, ibig sabihin, nag-progress na yung idea natin na, ay, hindi naman pala ang Earth ang nasa gitna. Ang sana nasa gitna at tayo yung umiikot sa kanya. That's the thing. So, we have geocentric from Ptolemy, heliocentric from Copernicus. Minsan, ang tinatanong po dito kung sino po yung proponent at marami po ang teachers na pinagbabaligtad po nila itong dalawang ito. Alam po nila yung ibig sabihin Alam po nila yung ibig sabihin ng geocentric, alam po nila yung ibig sabihin ng heliocentric, pero nakakalimutan po nila yung proponents. So, teachers, tatandaan nyo po dito, ni-red ko na po, no, hinighlight ko na po using other color, ay itong geocentric tsaka Ptolemy. To at tsaka ge. Ano po yon? Toge. O, tatandaan nyo po yan, teachers, ha? No, tatandaan nyo, sino kasi sa geocentric to? Toge. Ptolemy, geocentric. Ptolemy, geocentric. That's the thing, okay? So, ibig sabihin, heliocentric is Copernicus. Ito po ay para dun sa mga hindi madaling makapag-memorize ng mga ganito. So, wala na po kayong ikakalito. Alright? Sige, yan po ang ating famous views on geography. Let's proceed to the random information on geography. Alright? We have the random information on geography. So, yes, ito po yung mga lumilitaw randomly sa ating geography, so dapat alam nyo po sila, no? Kapag tinanong po ng board exam, no, what is the direction of the Earth's rotation? Mabilis dapat ang pagsagot. It's from west to east, okay? Yan po yung direction, no? So yes, galing na po ito sa mga previous board exam questions, nire-refresh na lang po natin ang ating sarili. Next, kailan naman daw nagkakaroon ng idea na kung saan the sun rises early and it sets late? Tuwing, no? Tuwing ano po ito? Tuwing summer. Again, tuwing summer, the sun rises early and it sets late. Next, which causes the seasons? Ano daw po yung nagkakos ng season? Ito po tinatanong either sa major ship or Gen Ed. So ang sagot po dito, it's the tilting of the Earth. Okay? Next, no? Next naman po, ano naman daw po ang ibig sabihin ng GPS? Basically, teachers, it's Global Positioning System. And I know you already know GPS, no? But for the information of everyone, still, it's the space-based radio navigation system na may constellation of satellites, broadcasting navigation signals, and a network of ground stations and satellite control stations. Ginagamit for monitoring and control, yung GPS natin. Alright? So yes, those are the random information you have for geography. Now, we proceed to the 7 continents. Ito na po. So teachers, now natapos na po tayo dun sa basic concepts of geography. Ang magiging daloy ng discussion natin, pag-uusapan natin, number 1, ang world geography using the 7 continents. Then pangalawa, ang Philippine geography. Kasi highlighted po siya sa specification ng board exam. Okay? So yes, pag-usapan natin ang 7 continents, no? Ang 7 continents of the world. We have ang ating ano dito, the way to memorize this based on the arrangement of this continents based on size, no? Mula sa pinakamalaki hanggang sa pinakamaliit, it's asan sa iyo no? Ano yung ibig sabihin nun? Asan sa iyo O yun yung tatandaan ninyo, ha? Asan sa iyo Ano pong ibig sabihin nito? As for Asia, and then we have A for Africa. You have N for North America. So yan po yung ASEAN. Okay? Again, ASEAN is Asia, Africa, and North America. Next, ano naman po yung sa U? Ano naman po yung sa U? It is S for South America, A for Antarctica, EU for Europe, and then lastly, yung A sa dulo is Australia. Pero teachers, ano po yung madalas na tinatanong? Which is the smallest continent? No, ang sagot po it's Australia, no? But still, just to be sure, dapat alam niyo po ang pagkakasunod-sunod nila based on their sizes. Again, ano ang ating idea? Ano yung ating way to familiarize or master this? We have ASEAN sa UA, okay? So yan po 'yon. Now, we proceed with